Angels Care Home Health, serving Hayes and the surrounding areas, is a Medicare-certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing and restorative therapy services to patients in their homes.
I love the nurses that come and see me.
Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, and all services are covered 100% by Medicare for patients who are eligible.
Since I learned about Angel Care, I would recommend them to anybody.
Angels Care Home Health. We serve patients.
Eagle Community Television presents Community Connection with your host, Mike Cooper.
Hello and welcome again to Community Connection from Eagle Community Television. Thanks for watching. Thanks as always to the producer and editor of our series, and behind the camera, Jeff Durall, and also Brandon Cooley, who's joining us today from Eagle Community Television behind the camera as well. As we visit with Sandy Jacobs, Executive Director of the Heartland Community Foundation, I wanted to give you a little information about the Heartland Foundation and how it works in the community and how you can help. As we talk with Sandy, who is kind of the newly minted Executive Director, I guess, Sandy?
That's fair, newly minted. I've actually been in the position about it's really almost a year, but it feels much faster than that. It feels like I started yesterday. I had so much to learn when I got started.
Well, now, as they say in these media things, full disclosure here, when we came to town, we looked up Sandy at Sunflower Bank, her previous location, and just fell in love with her service and her work at the bank. And through the years of financial dealings and such, we have, of course, had other financial dealings as well. But Sandy had a personal touch, so I think a lot of this lady here, and I'll ask mostly softball questions, I think.
That's good.
Except for the last one, which Jeff always mentions as being the real tough question.
The tough ones, yes.
So what is the foundation? Tell us about it, Sandy.
Well, Heartland Community Foundation, we're excited to talk about, is actually 10 years old this year. It really grew quickly, and back in 1997, a group of people in Brooks County, Trigo County, and Ellis County got together and said, we need to do something for these communities that puts some funds available to organizations within the communities. And what a foundation, and I'm really new to this, Mike, it's, of all the years that I had in banking, there's always a learning curve no matter what you do. If I had to go be a waitress today, it'd probably be a big learning curve. But it's a way for people to leave funds to as a legacy in their community to different organizations or to the community as a whole. There are many, many people love this community, and that's how foundations work. That's how they live and breathe, as gifts from people, legacy gifts, if you will.
Basically, it goes back to the community to further that community in many different ways, then,
Absolutely.
Sandy.
We give grants in this community twice a year. Usually we run grant cycles. We have a benefactor of such that I just can never talk enough about, and that's the Dane G. Hansen Foundation. Yeah. Really, if we step back just a little bit further, when it first started, the Kansas Health Foundation had funds, matching funds available all throughout the state of Kansas, and it was called Grow 2. And it was allowing you to raise funds to start your foundation, and then they would match those funds to keep that all going. And that's basically the impetus of how it actually, somebody said, we cannot walk away from this money, basically.
And with the Health Foundation being limited in funding, there was a need basically to continue helping these organizations and groups.
There absolutely was, and there was a group of people, what I call the founding donors, that they're the normal list you would see of the givers in these communities that always step up when we need them. And they came forward with these gifts, some of them immediate gifts, some of them gifts over 5 years, and they said this is important to our community. And it's different than other foundations. Every foundation has a really valuable mission in my mind. We have the Fort Hays Foundation. They do an amazing job with everything they do. The Hospital Foundation. Heartland Community Foundation benefits the whole community, benefits all different areas of the community. Funds can be established by any 501c3 in our community that actually then people can give to at any point in time.
And it can be through a trust, an estate,
absolutely,
long-term plan, just a single donation at times.
Absolutely. And you know, we talk about the importance of big donations, and we have those benefactors that do give huge donations, but $25 is important to this organization. And every time we have the opportunity to match, which we'll talk about in a few minutes with the other campaign, every dollar counts because it's double.
Tell me about how the process works. You mentioned that there are a couple of times a year when funds are distributed. Who decides, and how do groups become involved with putting their needs forward?
There's an application process, and it's actually an online application, and it's anybody in any of the 3 counties can make application. We do those grant periods. We have one coming up, I believe it's starting April 1st for 4 weeks, and then we'll do another distribution. But they go online, make the application, and then each county, Brooks, Trego, and Ellis, have their own grant committee. And that grant committee reads every single application that comes across. And that's who is then going to make the final decision on where those funds go. We never have any trouble giving all the money away that we have.
I was going to ask you, how's that distribution go?
We need lots more.
So
We need lots
more donations.
And I think that's the thing, that if you talk about the heart and soul of communities and why a Heartland Community Foundation is needed, rural America struggles, and not just in times of low oil prices, or it's just the overall shrinkage of rural America. To keep these communities alive, we want to make sure that the quality of life is right in those communities. And that's one of the main reasons Dane G. Hansen Foundation exists. He had a vision for rural America and these small communities and said, we're going to make sure there's enough money set aside that they can have the quality of life to keep people there.
Tell me about who benefits. Give us a couple of examples of organizations or groups that have benefited from the Heartland Foundation.
One in Hayes, which I think everybody is probably aware of right now, one of the recipients of a grant the last cycle was the Hayes Arts Council, and it was for the benefit of the mural on the side of the Fox. So that is, when we drive by there, I always have to smile a little bit because we would help be a part of that. One of the biggest grants we ever gave, well, it is the biggest grant we ever gave, was in Waukeeny, at the Waukeeny Grade School, all their playground equipment. There was no way they would ever have the funding to be able to do that playground equipment, and it was a huge grant, and it's going to all be put in place this spring. So we're pretty excited about that as well.
Wow. It benefits all ages.
Absolutely, and it benefits the community. When school's not on, kids are going to be out on that playground playing. So
and
we're
we
happy.
all enjoy the artwork.
Absolutely, absolutely. That has just been, and I was kind of one of the naysayers about that when it first started. I thought, a mural on the Fox? I'm not sure I'm going to like that. I was very loudly promoting it as it got started. Dennis Shield is absolutely amazing, and that feature in this community was needed and just glorious as far as I'm concerned.
It's an amazing piece, and there's more to come from Dennis, we understand, too. And
absolutely.
Okay, so talk about the Twice as Nice campaign, a Heartland Community Foundation campaign, Sandy.
We, again, had the opportunity through Dane G. Hansen. They came forward and said, we want to be sure we have all of the foundations that are under their auspices, and they cover about 29 counties. And so every foundation in those counties, they wanted to be sure that we had the opportunity, one, to have money to grow our permanent funds, but more than that, to get our communities aware of who we are. When I started this job a year ago, I didn't know a lot about it, but at least I knew the Heartland Foundation existed. You cannot imagine, Mike, how many people I go see that don't know we're here, don't know what we do. And so we were so grateful to Dane G. Hansen for putting this money out there. And what they did is gave us $50,000 for each of our counties and said, we will match funds that you collect up to $50,000 in each county. So that actually gave us another $150,000 in our area. Now, they all match anything up to $5,000 per gift. Now, somebody can give me 10, but we're only going to match 5. But this is where the importance comes of those $25 and $50 and $100 gifts. People are giving double when they do that, and it's very exciting. This is on a very closed time frame. Starts today. Today's the kickoff, February 1st. And it goes to the end of the month. And so all gifts received during this time will be matched up to $5,000 and $50,000 total per county by Dane G. Hansen.
I'm glad we could put the word out early in the month.
I am too. I was
This
so
is
glad when you called.
perfect how this worked out.
I was really excited.
So that regardless of what that donation is, it's matched
Absolutely.
and doubles.
Doubles.
Twice as nice.
Twice as nice. That's right.
But a
Twice as
limited time frame. So If you weren't aware of the Community Foundation or had wondered about donating, how do we do that?
Well, you can actually go online to heartlandcommunityfoundation.org, and there's a place on there that says Twice as Nice, and you can click and you can donate right there. I actually have an office in the Welcome Center. I'm not there a lot. I figure if I'm there, I'm not doing my job. I'm not out seeing people. But people will be happy to take an envelope from you and put it in my office, because there's lots of people at the Welcome Center. Also, I'd like to visit to anybody in the community that would like to be visited with. I'd love to be in front of every single organization in the community, every community group, anybody that wants to hear about the Heartland Community Foundation. I'd get in front of them, and I'll be happy to bring those pledge forms with me.
And absolutely, those service clubs, those groups or organizations that have regular meetings, call the Convention and Visitors Bureau in the Welcome Center here.
And they'll put you in touch with me. I actually have the cell phone number for the foundation is 785-621-4090. And they can reach me, but if they get somebody here in the Welcome Center, they'll find me or put you in touch with me.
In an advisory capacity, Sandy has been with the Downtown Hayes Development Corporation, Hayes Chamber, United Way, Big Brothers, Big Sisters. You just ran out of things to do, didn't you?
You know, I had a friend that said, when I was recently elected to the City Commission, or appointed to the City Commission, and I had a friend in Colorado wrote, and he said, I don't think you get the concept of retirement. And I disagreed. I think retirement, you get the benefit of doing whatever you want to do, and I'm doing whatever I want to do.
Oh, that's good to hear. But was there an individual, was there a group that talked you into the executive director position?
I had a number of people call and ask me to apply. I have a dear friend of yours and mine, Bob Schmidt, who I had a conversation with about it, and he really extolled the virtues of the foundation and how important it was to this community. We hadn't had a director for a short period of time, and that really takes you out of the mainstream if you don't have somebody out there saying those words all the time. So I was really happy to be considered and happy to take this on. It's very necessary in the community, and if anybody knows me, they know this community is my soul. So anything that I could do, and I don't mean to sound magnanimous in that, because it is a job, so it's minimum hours a week. I'll just be whatever anybody needs it to be to make sure Heartland Community Foundation is known in this community.
We have a couple of minutes, so let's review here. The Twice as Nice campaign lasts only through the end of February.
Correct.
And it will match donations, and you can do that online, Sandy.
Right, heartlandcommunityfoundation.org.
That's all one word,
All
right?
one word.
Okay.
And it's right there, or you can stop into the foundation. You can mail a check to the foundation at box 1673. That's in Hayes. You can call me at 621-4090 in Hayes, and find me on the street. I'll come find you.
And if you want to find out more about the Heartland Foundation, if you want to have Sandy appear before a group, organization, a meeting, whether it's a regular meeting or a special event that would tell you more about the Heartland Community Foundation, call the Welcome Center.
I'm there.
All right. Sandy Jacobs, Executive Director of the Heartland Community Foundation, the Twice as Nice campaign. Again, heartlandcommunityfoundation.org. Sandy Jacobs, our Community Connection.
Angels Care Home Health, serving Hayes and the surrounding areas, is a Medicare-certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing and restorative therapy services to patients in their homes.
My Angel Care physical therapist taught me how to do exercises safely.
Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, and all services are covered 100% by Medicare for patients who are eligible.
It gives us independence in our home.
Angels Care Home Health. We serve patients.